Oh, it's thinking. Oh, okay. It says we're live. Hi, everyone. Before we start, I'm just going to do an acknowledgement of country. So I would like to acknowledge that I'm hosting this live stream on the traditional lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, who are the original custodians of the land on which I live. I would like to pay my respects to elders past and present, as well as any Aboriginal, Torres Strait Islander or First Nations people who may be watching this video live or on playback. So welcome. If you're here, say hi in the comments. And I would like to say big welcome to Bree, who's joining me on my planning live stream, because my book journaling, I should say. I'm used to saying planner videos.
Megan. What's up, Megan?
Hello.
Yeah, the last time you did this, I was like, I need to do this. It's such a good idea. Because I had been thinking about just showing like my reading journal and maybe doing like a journal with me, but recording it. But I love this so much better, being able to interact and then us doing it together is cool.
Yeah, I think it's nice because this used to be a planner channel before I started talking about books.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So I used to do that all the time, and I had all the stickers and everything, but I've since moved away from that. I sort of now retroactively plan. I think I showed some of that in the last live stream that I did. So I'm thinking I might do some of like the memory planning and pre-record that, but do the book journaling live when I can. But it's also just a good way to get it all caught up.
Right.
Oh, exciting.
Oh, I forgot you had your pole class tonight. You mentioned that. So I feel like I have to warn you that I might at any moment have lipstick on my teeth, because it was an adventure. Like, you know how when you put on red or like dark lipstick, as soon as like one swipe is on, it's done. Like you can't take it off or it's all over your face. That's where I'm at right now. Like I put a little bit on. I was like, this might have been a mistake. And it was, because it's patchy and it's like matte, but then it's like kind of chipping a little bit. So every so often I get it on my teeth. So I apologize.
It's all good. I have been there. It's probably good that it's a live stream, because it's never as clear as you think it. Like your screen looks clear, but when people watch it, it's never as clear. Because I'm like, I had massive breakouts and I've scratched my skin. I'm like, oh God, this is going to look terrible, but it's all good.
Have you ever recorded a video when you had like lipstick on your teeth during the whole video? Because that has happened to me and I had to re-record. It was the saddest thing of my life.
Possibly. And sometimes I just get to the point where I'm like, I don't know if I can redo this. I just have to live with it.
Just live with it.
Sometimes it's just not worth it. But I was debating whether I went with, see, your lipstick looks fine.
Thank you.
I can't tell from here. I was debating going with dark lipstick, and I'm like, no, I'll get it everywhere.
I'm blaming Tamika for this, because she had a video and she's like, oh, it's dark lipstick season. I was like, it is dark lipstick season.
Yeah.
And then mistakes were made.
Wow. Oh, don't worry. It's funny, because I was going to, like I said, I was going to put some on, but also we're moving into spring, so it's really not dark lipstick season.
That's true.
It's like I've just got all these amazing dark lipsticks. I'm like, next year.
No, I
will go in the next year.
Too. Like spring, I'm like bright pinks and things like that, and then winter is usually when I'll do like reds and stuff like that. So
good for you, Ryan. Love it.
Yes, Ryan.
So Bree has filmed or done a live stream with her journal, but if you haven't seen that, and I'll probably go back and put a link in our description afterwards. Did you want to talk a little bit about yours before I bring my screen up, and how you got started?
Mine is less like, I started mine because Tamika and Izzy, they showed their digital reading journals, and I had seen like digital journals before, but I knew that I wanted to use like a regular bullet journal for my regular planner, but I decided to do a reading journal digitally. And I like the way that I did it is I don't put my reviews in there. I know you put your reviews in there, and I like how that looks, but I knew that I didn't want to take the time to handwrite my reviews. So I use this more as like TBRs. So I have like author backlist TBRs. I have just like miscellaneous TBRs. Like I'm going to do a Halloween TBR possibly today on here. And then I have like books that just like random lists, like books that I need to buy, like physical books I need to buy, and like a Kindle Unlimited high priority TBR, stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, like, it's funny because in the beginning of this journal, like, you can see that it's very like, you know, fun, like the layouts are more fun, but then as you get farther in, you can tell that I just gave up. I was like, yeah, I'm not taking the time to do that anymore.
Yeah, I was the same thing, Ashley. I've never been able to keep a physical book journal. I've never been able to keep. I did journal for a little while, but I find this is a lot easier. And yes, hi to Heather, who I know has a live stream in about 25 minutes. Yeah, and I totally stole your, actually, I'll bring up mine for a second because actually, no, wrong journal. So in my new one, so I'm currently working off 2. It's going to take a second. I started putting in the author's backlists as well. I'm like, this is a great idea. So
I know, because I'm always thinking like, oh, I really like this author. I need to read more books by them. And then I forget. So it's nice to have this to go back to.
Yeah. And that was I finished reading. I'm sitting in front of the TV. I'm going to download all of these book covers and throw them into a layout and just say which ones I've actually read. So
you downloaded all the book covers?
Well, it depends. Some of them I was able to drag them across, but some authors' websites, because I was trying to use the authors' websites just so I made sure that I had everything. They didn't work quite as well with all of them, so I ended up having to jump online. So I downloaded them on the laptop and just airdrop them to the iPad.
Yeah, some authors don't have all of their books on their websites.
Yeah, and some of them you can't drag and copy them across as well, which made it a little bit tricky, which is the thing that I like about working on the iPad is I can literally just drag and copy. Have a good time at your class, Megan.
Have fun.
Enjoy it.
Thanks for hanging out for a little while.
She will be amazing. Yeah, and then the rest of it is just the journaling. Although I'm after I finish handwriting, the next couple, like I think June, July, and August in this planner, it's typing all the way because I like the way that it looks now. Oh, good. So you're going to work on an October TBR. I'm going to try and work on, where am I? Yeah, I'm up to June. So this is the only thing. It likes to catch up with its pictures.
Yeah, that's the only thing. It takes a little while. But what's nice about digital journaling is you're not like, you can add pages in and you can move stuff around a lot easier. I feel like when you do paper journaling, you're like kind of stuck with it. And that's
And if you're any kind of perfectionist, I think getting stuck with something and not liking the outcome is just an unnecessary source of stress.
Yes.
Totally me.
So did you download a digital journal for this?
I did. So this one is a journal by an Etsy store called Foance, Foanse, I think. And then this one is, if I go back to the start, it's by Lux Book Planners, and it's kind of it's kind of more for it's more of like a fashion magazine inspired one, but I just liked some of the layouts and the way that it looked. So I've just sort of gone through and deleted the pages and layouts that I like and kept the ones that I need for journaling. So it's made it fun. And I have to show you, I haven't finished doing this on all of the pages yet, but I'm now using your stickers as my little markers. So if you guys don't know, Bree has these awesome romance trope stickers, and I've just been throwing them in because I use keep in my spreadsheet where I keep track of everything. I make a list of keywords and tropes and things like that so I can search them if I want to do recommendations later on. And this has been so helpful just to put it in there. So
it looks good.
I love them.
I love seeing them in use.
Yeah, I'm such a digital person. All right. So should we do a little bit of work, and then if you think of something, we can add it. But I've got to bring up my spreadsheet and find my notes.
And then if you guys do anything, let us know.
Yeah, and if you have any questions, let us know as well. And also, I'm going to switch between my screen and Bree's screen. So mine will be up for a little bit and then I'll switch it over. So if you notice that Bree's doing something and you want to see it, let me know and I'll switch it.
Actually, I might adjust mine. So it's a little bit closer.
Okay. Yeah, very cute. You know, it'd be typical that the first book that I have to try and remember is part of a series that it all just blurs together because
Oh my
there's
gosh,
just too many characters.
That all blurs together for me too.
It's like I only make note of the heroines' names. I'm like, I can't keep track of everyone else. I might come back to that one.
It's funny that you're working on that because I'm going to add that. I'm going to add at least Queen Takes Checkmate or whatever that series is. I need to add it to my Halloween TBR, so that's funny.
Well, it's funny. I think I finished it for the last round of the Love and the Night Readathon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And by the end, I'm like, I probably shouldn't have read this back to back because now I can't remember it.
That happens to me all the time. Even if I don't read it back to back, it still kind of blurs together certain books or series.
Yeah.
My internet doesn't like me right now.
Oh, I meant to ask you, are you going to listen to the Bonkers Romance podcast?
I saw that. I'm not a big podcast person, but there are some podcasts that I will listen to, and that's probably one of them.
Sierra Simone is in the first main episode, and they're talking about Ensnared, which I haven't read yet, the spider one. Have you read that one?
I just read it.
Because I went to start it because I was going to read it before the podcast, and then I'm like, I don't know if I can do it, and I didn't read it. Now I'm like, damn it, I probably should have read it.
It is very spidery.
Yeah, that's
like I liked it, but I don't know. I didn't like it as much as I thought I was going to, and it was a little hard for me to get past the spidery thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I think spiders might be worse for me than snakes.
So yeah, they are worse. They're worse for me than snakes. Why is my internet working?
You'll be fine, Heather. You'll get everything sorted. So I'm still trying to decide whether I could work my way up to reading it, but I kind of want to after listening to Sierra Simone talk about it. Because
I'm very interested to see what she has to say about it.
I'm just interested to see the other books that they read because I think it's going to be good fun.
I'm just so glad that weird romances like that are popular right now.
Yeah.
That means more and more people are writing them.
Definitely. I will be going back later on to watch that live show, Heather, because I want to hear everyone's thoughts on the 5th season.
You've read it?
Oops. Yeah, a couple of years ago. Before I started reading romance, I still am a big sci-fi reader. So it was one of those ones that I'd heard lots about, and so read it. But it can be a tough one to get into because it involves a lot of thinking. So
I was going to read it for the read along, but I ended up not doing it because I just ditched everything, like my entire TBR, and just started mood reading.
Yeah, I think I've done that this month too. You'll be okay, Heather. We'll send you lots of positive energy.
Poor Heather. Hey, Shay.
Hello. Welcome. I'm trying. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. Memory is terrible this morning.
Collection.
Hello. I saw that, Shay. I'm so glad it went so well for you.
Oh, yay. I'm so glad.
So exciting.
Congratulations.
Very happy
you have to let us know right away whether you get it or not. I'm sure you will.
Yeah.
I love these covers for the Vampire Queen series.
They are. They're really pretty.
Mm-hmm. They're bloody, but they're very pretty.
They are. Well, like if you're not looking at them really close, you can't tell. But it's when you like zoom in and be like, oh, okay.
Oh, that's good.
So what else is on your Halloween or your October TBR?
I'm kind of like, it's mostly things that I've been wanting to read, but then also I want more Halloween-y things. Like I think it was Izzy who talks about Headless, which
I've added that one.
by Vita Vice. That should be interesting.
Yeah.
I'm only going to read Her Soul to Take, which I know you just read.
Yeah. So good. and because I was going through it last, well, I was planning out my Love in the Night TBR for next weekend, and I put Headless on it because I've got a couple of long things and I've got some really short things. So Headless, and also Katie Roberts' new Patreon short story. Everyone voted for something bonkers, and apparently it's a demon thing. So I'm like, that'll be great. That'll only be like a couple of pages.
Right.
I can knock that out. That's on brand for October. Oh, well done for finishing 2 series today, Shay. That's amazing.
Nice. What are the dates for Love in the Night?
1st to the 4th. So Friday to Monday. Yeah, I'm trying not to have set too much, Shay, because I really want to mood read that, but I thought I've got a couple of things that I would like to read, but I'm not, sticking to it if I don't need to. I'm in a very mood-ready mood at the moment.
I might have to read No Getting Ogre You.
That's a great title.
I know, some of these are amazing.
Oh, gosh.
If you hear the moan and the eye roll, that's coming from my husband who's sitting right here. He loves these titles. It's funny because he'll play like his little board games that he plays with his friends, and they always ask me what I'm reading because they love the titles of them.
It's half the fun with them. Exactly. You just want something fun to read.
Like it was around Christmas time when I was reading like Seated by Santa and stuff, and they were like, "What are you reading?" And I'm like, "Seated by Santa, obviously."
Santa. Yeah. Did you enjoy? Well, actually, no, Heather, don't answer that because I want to go into Headless not knowing anything about it.
Yeah.
Unless Bree wants to know.
I don't know anything about it, and I don't want to. All I need to know is that it's called Headless.
Yeah. Well, see, 2 of my NetGalley arcs are shifter paranormal romance stories. So I'm like, maybe I can read those next weekend. That was totally unintentional. That was me going, Steph, you're not supposed to click request on anything. But I did. Oh, gosh. What is this? Sorry.
Oh no, Heather. Just smeared mascara. That's the worst.
I'm sorry.
Honestly, that was kind of me getting ready and like trying to get the lipstick on.
Yeah. If it's only a little bit, then at least in the live stream, most people won't be able to tell.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I need to not go too crazy with this, otherwise I'm going to get burnt out.
Well, you can have these are the ones that I want to read, and these are the ones that I might pick up if I feel like it.
Exactly. And I feel like I need to save room for books that I hear about that are like ridiculous little novellas. Did you read Halloween Boo?
Yeah, last year.
That one was cute.
It is very cute. And it's not ridiculous.
Smashing the Pumpkin King was also good.
Yes, I did read Smashing the Pumpkin King. The other one, which is not bonkers, but is just one of my favorite ones, is Her Halloween Treat by Tiffany Reese. From that's it's Harlequin, an old Harlequin title.
Is it a novella?
No, well, it's not super long, but she's got a Halloween one, a Thanksgiving one, and a Christmas one, and they're contemporaries, but they're great.
This one? This Blaze
Yeah,
one?
I think so. Yeah.
I love that name.
Okay, so it's a short, there's nothing to tell. Fair enough, Heather. That is the good thing sometimes about short stories, is you can just read them and you just go, well, it's a short story. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. Like I even though I have this thing about rating at the moment, I don't tend to like rating short stories because there's usually not enough to actually rate it. Was it good, or did you enjoy it, or didn't you?
I know. Well, I'm an emotional rater anyway. So it just depends on how the book made me feel. And unfortunately, like if I'm just like slumpy or something, I'm not going to enjoy it. Or sometimes I'm in a good reading mood and I'm loving everything. So,
well, it's funny because I was thinking I've got to film my wrap up after this, and there's one book that I read which I picked up because I was feeling slumpy after having read the Sierra Simone books the other weekend. Because every time I read her books, I'm just like, but I just want more like this.
I know.
Why is there not more like this? And I read one, and I'm like, this is probably fine on its own, but coming off the heels of reading hers, I'm like, no.
Mm-hmm. And then like no
Unfortunately
rating.
Not. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I think I've read 2 400-page books in the last couple of days. I'm like, this is really long. Why are they so long?
I know. I feel like I've been reading way too many short stories, because now even like 300 pages, I'm like, this is really long.
It's like any of the books that I'm reading for vlogs, I'm like, I'm putting the page numbers next to it because I've got to work out which ones I can get through.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I haven't heard of that one by Ruby Dixon, Jay. Yeah, some books just run longer than they need to.
I liked how Ice Planet Barbarians were nice and short.
Yeah. Oh, I need to go back and read some more of those. I can't remember how far I got into that series.
I only got as far as they had back when there was Audible Escape.
Yeah.
So I won't read no more than that.
I just remember when it really started exploding again, maybe 2 years ago, it was really, really popular. And I was actually, this was back when we could go to physical events. It was the Melbourne Writers Festival, and they had someone in charge who really appreciated romance books. So there was a whole stack of romance panels at this, previously very literary event, and I went to all of them. And there was just one panel where all they were talking about was Ice Planet Barbarians. I'm like, this is great. This is a public forum out in public, and everyone's talking about it. It's awesome.
I love it. 21 hours.
21 hours.
No, it doesn't need to be that long.
No.
Yeah, and I don't love the world building part of it. What did you whisper, JT?
So that's rookie numbers.
He said it's rookie numbers because he likes Stephen King and like Dune.
Yeah.
Which is 8,000 years long.
What did I read? Yeah, I've not read like Stephen King or anything like that, but I did read Justin Cronin's The Passage. Is that the first one? And one of those is over 1,000 pages. I'm like, and it's literary horror. And I'm like, oh.
So it's a little bit of a slog.
Yeah. Like I liked it because it had the horror element in it, and it's like when you actually get through it, it's a really, really good series, but it took a while.
I have to be in the mood for stuff like that.
Yeah. I've got a couple of Brandon Sanderson on my TBR, and I quite like it. Like once I've get into it, I'm really good with it, but I'm just like, I don't know if I'm in the right headspace to tackle those at the moment. Gosh, my memory is, this is not good today.
Have you read Nikki Sloan stuff?
I've read some Nikki Sloan.
I think, didn't they announce another book in this series?
Which one is it? The
what are they? Dirty Rich Americans, maybe?
Yeah, I think so. I think I heard that. Yeah,
and I think the cover for this came out.
Yeah. So you won't be happy with me because I'm part of Heather's group that didn't like it.
Oh, and you didn't like it?
but that's I've liked some of her other, like I'm about 50, I've got a 50-50 hit rate with Nikki Sloan, which is, not bad considering. So yeah, as much as I love sci-fi, I don't think I could get through June. Yeah, his books, I think once you get into it, there's enough interest in them to hold me. But I've mostly read his things that border on sci-fi as opposed to the really fantasy heavy ones. So what was I doing?
Bargainer series is really good, Hannah. Well, at least the first book. I shouldn't say the whole series. I've only read the first book, but I really like that first book. The reason why I didn't read on in that is because I was like, I don't think this, like, there doesn't need to be more. I felt like it wrapped up well. I mean, I know there's obviously more that has to happen, but I was happy with the romance, like how the romance ended in the first book.
I have been meaning to read The Bargainer, actually.
It was better than I expected.
Yeah, a lot of people have said that. And what was the other one that I read that was... To me, it's always struck me as it sounded like a cross between Daughter of Smoke and Bone and there's another Fae series that was an adult paranormal romance that was quite dark. I've mentally blanked on the name. Yeah, when I have time. I actually think I have it on my Kindle. It's been there for a while. Yeah.
I forget which book I ended on with that. Black Dagger Brotherhood.
One. I didn't get past book one. Yeah, I've got the second book in Carrie Arthur series, which I read for the last round, which is an Australian paranormal romance, and it has vampires, werewolves, and witches, I think. So I kind of want to continue that. Because that one's sort of set in rural Victoria, which I'm like, I can picture this. I know where that is.
Yeah, that's always exciting.
Yeah, that's fair enough. As long as you're in the mood for it, that's a good thing.
I definitely have to be in the mood for paranormal.
Yeah. Well, I read one this week, The Rogue King, which is Abigail Owen, Dragon Shifter one, because I've always been hit and miss with Dragon Shifter books. This one was quite good. I enjoyed it. That was one of the 400-page books.
Oh.
I know. Like, I picked up and went, oh, this is mass market. This is not going to be too long. It actually read really quickly.
Well, that's good.
I was pleasantly surprised. Yeah, I've been in a bit of a paranormal mood recently as well.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I feel like around this time of year is usually when I start getting in the mood for it.
Yeah.
What kind of screen protector do you have on yours?
I have a paper. What's that? Paper light.
Paper-like?
Paper-like. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have like a rip-off of that.
I just found it's made such a difference with trying to write on the screen.
And so I still have terrible handwriting on here.
Oh, I just scroll. This is my scroll. I can write neatly, but I quite often don't.
Yeah, if it's more than a few words, then my handwriting just goes out the window.
As long as I can read it, that's all that matters.
Exactly. Well, you have to read little kid handwriting all the time, so you're probably good at deciphering.
Yeah, I can decipher, and I say what my good handwriting for when I have to write with them. Although we have a very specific handwriting style here in Melbourne, which is bizarre compared to everyone else.
Really? What's different?
So hang on, I'll try and write it out. It's called Vic Modern Cursive.
Yeah,
mostly our
yeah.
B's, P's. What am I doing? Oh my gosh. It's designed so that you can, when you go to join letters, you can join them really easily, like that, which is still terrible here on the iPad screen, so take that with a grain of salt.
Right.
But the poor kids get confused because they see print B's and things like that, and then we're like, and by the way, you have to write like this. sorry, little children. Although that said, I'll just take them writing over anything else.
Oh, wait, I have to read Lick or Treat. I forgot that was a thing. Yes.
Who's that one by?
It's Hannah Hunting. It's a Pucked, like, Halloween short. I love the Pucked series.
The one that you told me about the other day, is it the Lance, the hero?
Yes.
Yes.
That's part of the Pucked series. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes, I have downloaded that one.
Did you have you read the rest of the books?
I haven't. I'm keeping that one there. It's a reminder that I need to read it.
I mean, you could read it out of order, but I think you appreciate Lance a little bit more
Yeah.
because he seems like such a playboy in all the other books. And then you get to his
Yeah.
book. It's like,
I do like books like that where they get to redeem themselves.
Mm-hmm. I do highly recommend the audiobook though, because Jacob Morgan narrates it and he's got an
Yes,
accent.
I remember you saying.
It's glorious.
I was out walking with a friend of mine the other day, and she's only just started getting into audiobooks.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm slowly feeding her romance book recommendations that I know she'll read. I'm like, you know, you might like to read these ones with these audiobook narrators.
Yeah.
And we were out walking in a public trail, and I've got my phone out with Audible going, okay, listen to this voice. Listen to
I'm
this
that
voice.
way too.
Like, yeah.
It
I
makes
forget
such
who
a
it was.
difference.
It does. Because I was going, and you like, you can listen to these ones, and you should listen to Wolf Gone Wild because I've forgotten who it is that does the
Oh, I still that's
Alpha's
another one.
voice.
Yeah.
He hang on, now I'm gonna have to look it up.
He's a popular one.
He just does such a good job. It's not microphone. Aidan Snow.
Oh yeah, I like Aiden Snow. He's good.
You've told me you've read the Tea Dragon books, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're really, really good. The girls like them too.
So beautiful.
Mm-hmm. The author who did the Tea Dragon Society also does another graphic novel that is so good. It's I think, what's it called? Princess, I think. And it's about these princesses that fall in love, and the girls are obsessed with it. Like I read it to them like 5 times.
No, I love Kay O'Neill.
Mm-hmm.
When I was teaching grade 3 and 4, 3rd and 4th grade, I had the first book, and I took it in for them because they just sat there and loved that book.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited for your picture book, Rex, and your middle grade, Rex.
Yeah, I mean, because it's funny, I have to duck into work next week just to swap over books and things that I've had here this term for next term, because we've got 2 more weeks of remote learning. And yeah, I'm gonna swap them over. I've been planning. I'm going to fit them in. Going to find a way to fit them into my uploading schedule. So I haven't quite decided which one I'm going to do first. I'm either going to do a couple of the Indigenous titles, or I might do the sort of, what do we call them? Positive uplifting books, and then do the Indigenous titles.
Have you read anything by Carrie Ann Cole?
No.
I'm so torn on her because So the first one I read was No Tomorrow. I gave it 3 stars. It's just, she's one of those authors. She reminds me, honestly, a little bit of L.J. Shen, who I don't read L.J. Shen's books anymore because they're just like over dramatic and like just there's a lot happening in it, all the drama, and it's just unnecessary. It's over the top. I think that's my problem. Is it's hard for me to like buy into it because it's just so over the top, and that's how No Tomorrow was. But then Torn and Tide were so good. So those were the next 2 that I read, and the heroine's dad in Torn is actually one of the characters from the Ashes and Embers series. And so I was like, I have to read the Ashes and Embers series because I loved her dad. I don't think I can make it through the series. So the first book, what did I get? I gave the first book 4 stars. It was like the meet cute was really good because the heroine like gets lost on her way on a business trip and like there's a snowstorm and she gets stuck in a snowstorm with him and he's like behind, he sees her like spin out and then he like stops to help her, but then they both get snowed in and they like are huddling together in the cab of his car. But she has a boyfriend the whole time. So it's like being an emotional cheating the whole time. But then it just gets like so like other like that would have been enough of like drama, but then like a bunch of other stuff happened and I'm just like, and then I DNF'd Vandal because that one was just like ridiculous drama from the very beginning. And then I read Lucas last night. It was one of those situations where I stayed up all like I couldn't go to sleep, and so I was listening to it all night. But I like did not like a second of it.
Oh no,
it wasn't worth it.
It's so frustrating.
It's so frustrating, and I'm like, I really and like the book that I want to get to is the last freaking one, but I don't think I can do it. And I know a lot of people like this is a beloved series too.
Yeah,
it's very.
But you know what?
It's like immature, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, not everything is for everyone. And look, there are books that I read that I know I read that other people would go, yeah, that's like super basic or whatever. And I think we all have those series that we just go, this, I have an emotional connection to this, that's fine. Right. And then there are other ones you just think, oh, but really? and there's always something. Yeah.
But like normally if a lot of people like something, I usually like it too, because I'm that person who like likes all the things that everyone likes. Yes, they are rock star romances.
Yeah, see, rock star romances are a bit hit and miss.
Exactly. But it's not like that doesn't even play a big part in it. So like if it doesn't play a big part, like the fame thing isn't a huge thing, then usually I don't mind it too much, but it's just so extra, like
when it doesn't have to be.
Exactly. I'm like, did we need to like, and then things will happen. Like, for example, in one of them, an ex-girlfriend came back and the hero finds out she had been sleeping with his brother and now she's pregnant with her brother's kid, but she doesn't want to tell the brother, but she wants to give it up for adoption. But the hero is just like so good that he wants to raise the kid. So he's trying to convince the heroine, like, let's raise this kid who's not even mine with my ex-girlfriend together. He's like, I'm just like, is this necessary? Like there was already
very complicated.
Yes. But then like beyond that, the heroine was, she has a daughter who's 18 who is trying to like seduce her, like the boyfriend. And I'm just like seduce the hero. And so that had already happened. It was like this whole, I was like, is this necessary to do all of these things? Like pick one.
Yeah. And do you know what? The one that I read recently and it was in my Heather's reading vlog. And, you know, great concept, but pick one thing and do it well.
Right.
And then introduce things later on if you need to, as opposed to just throwing everything in, because suddenly you just get overwhelmed. You're like, which one am I supposed to care about at this point in time?
Exactly. That's exactly what it was like.
Hello, welcome. Yeah, sometimes I just don't have the brain capacity for multiple dramas. It's like, just give me one. I'll be more emotionally invested at that point.
And I like there are parts of the books that are good. Like the meet cute's really good and almost good if you just didn't have to take it to the place that you took it.
Yeah. It's funny, when I was talking about the Bonkers Romance podcast, one of the things that they talked about or that they bring up is, what makes something a completely bonkers read for you? And it's, they're saying, this idea of, the author sees, and not even just talking about paranormal monster romances, but just any kind of romance, is that the author sees where they could go in one direction and play it safe in another direction and just go for it.
Right.
And I love that, but you have to be willing to know when too much is too much, because otherwise it just becomes overwhelming.
Well, there has to be a certain level of believability too. Like, I feel like you could go completely crazy as long as it's believability.
Yeah,
that's true. And yet I still can't, like, that's the thing. Like, I can read like Morning Glory Milking Farm and it's totally believable for me, but then this, which is based in like reality, I'm just like, nope.
But
don't believe it.
Yeah, but I think that reality aspect of it as well is hard, because like if you stopped and thought about it, you'd go, some people do this, and how on earth do they do it?
Well, like the cheating thing, like it happens all the time, but also I can't stand it in books.
Yeah, that's a huge thing. I remember when I was reading Saint, that was the one thing that stressed me out the most about that book. Was just that we didn't know at any point until sort of like the 50% mark whether or not it was cheating or not. I'm like,
right.
Just
and the whole
just
time
tell
you're
me.
like, don't do this to me.
Yeah, it was Stephen King that I was talking about before. Just too much. Yeah. I don't know either.
Hard pass. Oh, Layla. I have to read Layla too. Gosh darn it.
Which one's
Colleen Hoover? I think that one is the her paranormal one that she wrote.
I think your phone has dropped off.
Oh, did it?
Stream. Yeah. Why can't I find what I'm looking for? Oh my god, I'm just going to go back. I'll find it afterwards. Yes, hang on. I've got my brain.
I've given up on my phone.
Okay.
Is it plugged into the outlet?
Yes.
Okay.
That might be turned on.
For everything else. And they plug it into the.
Yeah, let's try to make it turn off.
What does that mean?
Like the outlets, there's the on and off button on it.
On the power strip.
What movie are you guys watching tonight? It was
Yeah, could happen. What movie are you watching tonight?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I meant to say earlier, Bree, you let me know when you need to head off.
Okay.
Oh,
So how far behind are you with writing these reviews?
so I've got 2 pages for, or 2 weeks for June,
Mm-hmm.
1 for July, and maybe 2 for August. 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. That's not bad. You're not too far behind.
No, I'm not too far behind, and once that's done, I'll try and look at ways to see how I can get it printed. That's my goal. I want to see how it turns out before before the end of the year.
I can't wait to see how it looks printed.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I'm a couple of days behind for this week. But that's okay. That's easy enough to catch up on.
So do you like take notes while you're reading, or you just try to remember when you update?
I do. I have a notebook where I usually just write down keywords. I'm usually that's enough to prompt me with remembering what the book is about, and then I transfer them into my spreadsheet so that I've got them.
Oh, okay.
And then then I come back to this. I was really good at the start of the year at staying up to date with this.
How it always is.
Yeah. Oh gosh. But no, actually part of the fun has been finding artwork. Like people have had fan art for different things.
Yeah.
There's one. Oh, I think where's Smash and Grab gone?
Oh, was there artwork for that?
There's some really cute little fan art that the author had commissioned. Oh, come on,
I love when authors do that.
Oh gosh. Actually, I know what I need to do. Let's go. It's July. May, June. Oh yeah, this week. And it's all the little dinosaur characters.
That's so cute.
And
Oh,
they're so adorable.
I love it.
And I love just having them to throw in as just little things on the layout, which was really nice.
It just all looks so good together.
Yeah, I don't do this all the time. Get to a point where I'm like, no, let's just write it out.
Yeah.
But some weeks I'm more organized than others, clearly.
You know, I keep telling myself at some point I'll go back and like make these more pretty, but chances are slim to keep coming up with more TBRs to make. So
Well, I think at one point I even went through, because I do listen to a couple of podcasts when I go walking, had like, oh, these are the ones that I'm interested in. Like, yeah. If I read them, I'll read them and I'll go back and tick them off. What did I have? I had, because I had grand plans of, writing things for specific series, which I just didn't do. Oh, I had my anticipated releases. Actually, I wonder which ones I have
do
read.
that too. That's a good idea.
Let's go here. Here's the good question. Have I read any more of these? Possibly not. Oh no, I read The Heart Principle, I read Uncharted, I read Under the Whispering Door. I read that one.
Make It Sweet and Eve Brown are good.
Yes, I haven't read Make It Sweet yet, but I've got that sitting there to go. That might have to be another reading vlog. Steph reads the ones that she said she was going to read at the start of the year.
That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah,
do you like the Cursebreaker series?
I do, but I haven't been tempted to pick up the third one. Like I was at the start of the year, but I think I've just moved away a little bit more away from YA. I tend to pick it up now if it's Australian, just to support the Australian authors. And also it's interesting when I compare Australian and international YA books side by side, like if I actually read them side by side. I think even when they're not written in or set in Australia, for some reason I can still pick up the cues. And when you read books that just remind you of where you come from, I'm able to get into the books a little bit more. But actually I read a YA fantasy upcoming release yesterday, which has been a while since I did that. But yeah, I used to read a lot of YA, but kind of haven't.
I know, me too. And like I've loved some YA, like I loved The Curse of Dark and Lonely. I absolutely adored that book.
Yeah.
The second and third book, not as much. I mean, I liked the second book. The third book was okay.
Yeah, and that's sort of what I heard. Like because I didn't mind the second book, and I thought I would read it, but I haven't really had the push to do it.
Yeah.
And something like The Galaxy, the Ground Within is part of my favorite series, and I'm just putting it off because I'm like I don't want it to be over. But I do have that to read, and Hail Mary, because I love The Martian by Andy Weir. It is such a good book. And then I couldn't stand Artemis. I'm like, I don't know.
I know.
Like I want to read it, but I just don't know. So, but yeah, Eve Brown I loved. And I'm not convinced I want to go back and read One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. I kind of do, but I know
I'm going back.
I've heard mixed things. So I'm not certain. So everything else is just sort of. Actually, I've got to check. Persephone Station was I don't know if it was young adult, but it's a sci-fi one. But I remembered I was having trouble getting hold of it over here, or it was really expensive. So.
What book number is A Touch of Malice? Like where in that series is it?
That's 3.
3. How many are there? 3 in that series? There's only 3, or is there 4?
I think there's more coming, but there's 3 in that series. Then you have the Hades perspective books, which I haven't read, and I don't particularly have any desire to read them. But I want to try and read A Touch of Malice before the end of the year.
I can't decide if I'm going to read A Touch of Malice. It follows Hades and Persephone the whole time, right? It doesn't do.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, do we need it to be that long?
Yeah. I think if I read this one, it'll probably be the last one I read. Maybe.
I'm a little curious about the ones from his point of view, but
yeah.
I don't know.
And I have my Faded Mates recommendations, which.
Yeah, I feel
Right.
like there's a lot of podcasts that I think I would love, but if I'm going to be listening, I feel like I need to be listening to audiobooks because there's so many I have to read.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, I feel like if I'm going to
Yeah.
be spending time listening, that's what I need to do.
Yeah.
Why are
There
those
you go. There's
X
my
out
next
stuff?
one.
Why
Because
did you
I'm not going to read them. I read one.
What do you
I
think
read-
of The Doctor? Did you like The Doctor?
I liked the Doctor.
Mhm.
In that series, I liked the Doctor. I liked the pool boy, but I didn't love it, which makes me the minority in the group. So I think a lot of people are reverse in those two. And I enjoyed the architect as well.
I haven't read The Architect. I liked The Doctor more than the pool boy too. Not that I didn't like the pool boy, but I really liked The Doctor.
Yeah. I think in the pool book, like there was some really great things that happened in that book. And I liked what was trying to happen. I had an issue with power dynamics.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But and I have the same thing whenever you have it. And I was wondering for a while whether it was me going, do I like it, the older woman, younger man? But I've read plenty of older woman books that I love to death. And I'm like, no, I think it's actually just the relationship and specifically that they're working together in as well. So I don't know. It was weird because I thought I should love this, and everyone does, and why don't I love it? but I loved the Doctor. So
yeah, the Doctor took me by surprise because I didn't know who Nikki Sloan was, and I just saw it as like one of those freebies, and I was like, this sounds interesting. Let me download it. Let me just read it. And I was like, wait a second, I love this.
yeah. Have you read Three Simple Rules?
Mm-mm.
That one was interesting actually.
I need to.
Yeah, I've got to continue that series because that one I quite liked. I've got to finish my Sarah McLean's. I think that's about as far as I got with that. Clearly, I was not planning a lot, but who did I have in here?
Have you not read The Hating Game?
No, I've read The Hating Game. I've read all of
I saw it
Sarah
on the
McLean's books.
list, so I was like,
yeah. No, I've read that one.
okay.
I do like that book. I know that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I love it.
it's just it's a fun one to read. And I read the whole thing and got to the end and read the author's note, went, holy crap, she's Australian.
Yeah.
So I'm like, great, I'll just be buying all of your books now.
Well, because location-wise, it's very ambiguous. Like she doesn't say where it's.
It's very no place. There's a couple of times in 99% Mine and Second First Impressions where I think there's a couple of turns of phrases that to me just go, oh no, now I know. But it's funny because I had last year while we were remote, we started up a book club at work. And of course, no one else wanted to pick books. I'm like, well, right, I'm picking books and you're going to read what I want you to read. So I made a lot of them read The Hating Game. And it was hilarious because my leading teacher, who is in her 60s, is like, I loved The Hating Game. And now I'm going to go and have you read Second First Impression, Steph? What was it like? I think you'll like it, Carol. And everyone else is like, there was something like, it's a bit steamy. I'm like, yeah.
There's one sex scene.
It's like, I can't really recommend you anything else that I read at the moment because if you think this is a lot, then yeah.
So here's a book, Morning Glory Milking Farm.
Yeah, I would not. That would probably not go.
It's a great book club book.
Well, do you know what? I actually think Sinner would be a really great book club book.
Sinner there is some, I mean, I feel like that whole series, there's good discussions to be had, especially about religion. But I think people have to get over the.
Yeah, I think Sinner is probably a little bit more accessible from where it comes from. I think you understand the differences. But yeah.
I'm surprised that The Hating Game's narrator had an American accent, though.
It's probably the publisher who decided to do it because unless they're using, Well, it was. I think it was bigger over there than it was over here initially.
Oh, okay.
I think it had a bigger release. And also, I'm trying to think who publishes it here. Yeah, the international contract might have gone for the audiobook.
Mm. I mean,
Have
I
you
love
read
the
any?
narrator, but
Yeah. Have you read much Alexis Hall? We
only
had this
read-
conversation the other day.
no, I've only read Boyfriend Material.
Yeah.
But I loved Boyfriend Material.
I adored Rosaline Palmer Takes the Cake. You would love it.
I want to read it.
Yeah.
I just like Alexis Hall in general. Like I've read
Yeah.
some of his like blog posts and stuff.
Yeah.
I liked him.
Meeting my Ilona Andrews. Katie, I've got to put in all my star ratings for the Katie Roberts books. That's going to take me a long time.
There's so many.
What have I read? I've read All the Wicked Villains. I've read The Start of Twisted Hearts. Read Siren's Curse. Read the two. I've actually read a decent number of them, but yeah.
I'm very behind.
Oh, I know what I haven't put in. I haven't put in these ones.
Yes, Managed was the best.
Oh, it's my favorite.
So good. I haven't read
read
Exposed yet. I need to read Exposed.
It was good. I actually really enjoyed that one.
Mhm.
And then I've got to read Make It Sweet. I can't remember if I read Twilight.
Are those paranormal? They look paranormal.
Yeah. I haven't read them yet. I think they're like paranormal steampunk.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I've read all of the Lillian Lark ones. Just want more.
You gave his vigilante or
I think it was about
4 stars.
yeah. It was good. I don't think I enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed the other ones.
Mm-hmm. Tangled Wires was just so good.
I want to go back and reread it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, have you seen this? The Sierra Simone scale.
I saw it in passing, but I haven't looked at it. Hitler, Mr. Darcy. Like, that's fantastic. Like that.
Yeah.
Involving lactation. Sex with shifter. That's so funny.
Like it's actually fairly accurate.
Sex with actual brother. We know what that means.
Like,
Daddy King sex while driving, it's not safe. So great. I like the TM after Simone scale.
yeah. It just comes up now. I'm like, no, I have to have a copy of that somewhere.
Yeah.
I just have to keep it.
I still have to finish Wolf Song, but I mean the series. I only read the first book.
It's so good. My favorite is Heart Song.
Is it
Yeah.
the third book?
The third book.
Maybe I'll add that.
Yeah. I love all of them. I actually want to do a reread of all of them this year. It's like those are guaranteed to make me cry at least once in all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one that I really liked of his was The Bones Beneath My Skin, which is more of a sci-fi thing, but it's a man who ends up driving to his family's cabin to find that people have been squatting in it. And it's this guy and a little girl, and her name is Artemis Darth Vader. And and he realizes that they're on the run from something, and it's very cool.
Artemis Darth Vader.
I know, like, that is a great name. You can clearly tell she picked it herself.
Yeah.
All right. I should go back and attempt to finish at least one more of these.
I will probably sign off at like 9:30.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So that's what, 10 minutes?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm getting better at this.
You know, I just remembered that I need to add to my Halloween TBR. It's the book that I think who I think it was Tara recommended, and it's like the ghost that haunts my fiance's butt or something like that. I forgot the name of it, but I need to add that to my Halloween TBR. How can I not read a book that's called that? Let me look it up.
Yeah. Sorry, I missed all of these guys. Yeah. Wolfsong will make. If Wolfsong doesn't make people cry, I'm concerned about them.
I don't think I cried.
No?
But I am a sociopath according to Heather. So.
Oh, actually, do you know what you need to read then? Is the short stories that he released on his blog called Love Song, which is the mother's perspective of scenes. That's why I cried.
That makes sense. So why? I just what I don't know what it's about, but I kind of usually don't like. I like to go in blind, but it is a paranormal short story that's approximately 30 pages long.
Look, there's something for everyone.
Really is.
I'm trying to think, what else did I read last year? I read the Smashing the Pumpkin King. Was it you that hasn't read Deal with the... Oh, no, we talked about this. You haven't read Deal with the Demon.
Not yet.
No. There's these ones that are completely weird. The Totally Spooked, or the Shifter Speed Dating Romance Books by Zoe Indiana.
Oh yeah.
It's the Halloween one.
What kills me about this, the ghost that haunts my bum one, is that there's a follow-up book to it.
Oh God, of course there is.
JT's like, what the fuck? JT, you want to see the cover?
We don't even know.
I will be reading excerpts of that one.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Worry not.
Sometimes I don't know whether to be impressed by what people decide to put out there or really concerned.
I know. But at the end of the day, people like me read it, so.
Well, this is true.
I will be talking about that in our group chat as I read it. Oh, I accidentally put it on my Kristen Callahan page. I probably should.
Poor Kristen Callahan.
Don't.
All right. Should we start wrapping this up so you get it off?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Well, thank you very much. This was fun.
Yes, it was very
Nice having
fun.
someone to
Let me
talk
know
to
next
while I
time you do it.
I will. It'll be odd times now. I'm like, it's all downhill from me now. So by the time we get back to, I've got one more week of holidays, then 11 weeks. It's an 11-week term. That's going to be fun.
Just like straight, like no holidays.
Yeah. So we have 4 terms.
Mm-hmm.
So usually we've had, I think we've had 3 terms. Oh no, term 1 must have been 9 weeks. Term 2 and term 3 are 2 and 3 are 10 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And this will be 11 weeks. So we normally finish usually around the 20th of December. Mm-hmm. But then we have our summer break. So that's our big break. We don't go back till the end of January.
Oh, okay. It's so weird how different it is.
Our school year runs January to December.
Mm-hmm.
So, and hopefully we'll get all the kids back on site before the end of the year. That'd be nice.
Yeah, knock on wood.
a plan. It's what's in place. Well, thank you very much. I had fun.
Yes, thanks for inviting me. This was fun. I got a lot done. I'm very proud of myself. When I did this by myself, I got less done than just doing it with you.
No, my problem today is that I've just had a mental blank on things, but I actually got plenty done, so I'm happy. Very happy. Well, I hope you have a good rest of the night, and I'm sure I will talk to you over the weekend.
Yes, I'm sure you will.
Yeah. And thank you to everyone who's joined us and been chatting to us during the live stream. So have a wonderful night, everyone. We'll talk to you later.